Welcome to ShortView Trading. This is your 1 minute market hit for Monday, the 11th of November. What matters for traders today? So interestingly, where are we now? Actually, given the weakness in Asia overnight and the weakness in the S&P futures reflecting that, we're back where we were Monday last week. So in aggregate, as you can see in the chart coming up now, the S&P's gone sideways for the past week. And as we've been articulating recently, that reflects some of the overstretched nature of the equity market as we see it. So for example, on a put to call ratio, the lack of downside protection we've been showing you on the CBOE ratio is also mirrored in the Nasdaq equivalent model. In fact, the Nasdaq is generating a strong signal on that put to call ratio, illustrating that overstretched nature. Equally, cyclicals relative to defensives, the rotation amongst sectors in recent weeks is relatively advanced as we've seen bond yields back up. On a short-term basis, that's relatively advanced. You can see it's somewhat overstretched from that chart we're putting up in front of you now. So, our view is the same. We recommend playing the short side. We think this market's overstretched. There's a little bit of downside out there to play for here. And that's consistent with that price action we've seen overnight. That's not just a Hong Kong story. It's a broad-based Asian story. So what are we watching this week? Three key areas. Firstly, price action, of course. Bond yields, as I said, somewhat oversold. Market's overstretched. So we're watching all of that. Secondly, a bunch of key speeches over the course of this week. Trump is giving one on Tuesday to the Economic Club of New York, maybe some more on trade and economic policy there. Equally, Jay Powell is speaking twice this week to the two different sides of Congress. And then finally, we're watching all the sort of bits and pieces of global macro data. China's quite a focus this week. It's a big week for Chinese data with total social financing and money supply data over the course of this week. And also bits and pieces of key stuff out of the States, including retail sales, NFL, IB optimism and CPI, as well as some Q3 GDP out of the Eurozone. So that's it from us. Thank you for listening. That was your 1 minute market hit from ShortView Trading for Monday, the 11th of November. Please do subscribe on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter or Facebook. Thank you for listening.